again from Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Lou Brutus, currently here with my dear close personal friend Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
So good, man. I'm glad to be here, dude.
You
Stoked,
know,
man.
I think some of the best, maybe the best gigs I've seen you guys do were Rockin' the Range gigs here.
We've had some good ones.
I'm glad to see you here, but I think the original circumstances that explain you being here today are less than stellar. Kind of tell me how all that happened and how you learned what rolled out.
Definitely bittersweet, you know, to be here. Definitely grateful to be part of the first Sonic Temple, but you know, as we know, the Prodigy was supposed to be here, and we had got the news that Keith Flint had taken his life, and I was scrolling through Instagram and was just like, what? I was just gutted, you know, because I'm a huge Prodigy fan since I was like 15, as a kid, jamming their music, and just always, we did a bunch of festivals with them over in Europe, and my son Mikhail is a big fan as well, and so we got to meet the guys and stuff like that a few times, and just always thought, you know, very highly of them. And I had mentioned in the press a lot too about wanting to collaborate at some point with the Prodigy, and you know, it was just like, man, that's just so terrible. Like another good one. You know, we lost another good one, and it's terrible, you know. But I got a text a couple days later from one of the promoters of Sonic Temple, and he said something to the effect of, you know, I know you've heard the news of Keith and the Prodigy, and you know, there's one person and one band that came to mind to come and fill the slot, and that's you guys. You know, will you accept the offer? And I'm like, you know, of course, like, we'd love to be part of it. Obviously, we love what this festival is about, and we'd love to be part of this, you know, and we'd love to honor, you know, Keith Flint with our set and do something to honor him in our show. And so we're going to do that, man, and we're going to throw it down hard. It's going to be a banging set tonight, and it's like I said, it's bittersweet to be here, but it's definitely an honor to be on this stage.
You know, it seems especially acute as May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
As we are taping this now, it's the anniversary of Chris Cornell taking his life on the eve of playing this stadium. You yourself you've dealt with themes of suicide and loss quite often in your music. How are you able to take things like this and synthesize them into music that might end up helping people?
You know, music is very cathartic, and it's also can be very healing, and I've found that over the years through my own experiences, through my own struggles, and finding that the music is at a point in time where I was not in a good place. It was the only thing that gave me peace and like comfort from like the war inside my mind and this darkness. And I truly understood it, because fans would come to us and say, oh man, this record saved my life, or this song saved my life. And I never really understood the gravity of it until I found myself in that darkness myself in my own life. And, you know, it's a trip when you pull through those places and really fight through it, and you realize, like, man, thank God, you know, I didn't take it and make a permanent decision to a temporary problem, because the thing is, what I do know about life is part of life is supposed to be painful. This thing isn't supposed to be like, we're not supposed to get out without cuts and scrapes and bruises, and it's not supposed to be all happy, joy. Like, we got to have pain to understand, to be able to know what joy and happiness and freedom is, you know? And I've found that maybe sometimes in my life, I thought that life was just supposed to be all happy, joy. And I was like, why me? And now the thing that I've found is that when I'm going through some kind of struggle or strife or whatnot, it's like, instead of why, it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to learn right now? What am I supposed to learn? Because I always got a part in everything that's going on. What's my part in it, and what can I learn? And so, you know, it's a lot of self-reflection, and, you know, at this point I feel like I'm kind of rambling on my answer, but it's like that's just where I'm at with that.
Well, one of the things you've always been good at, but I think have gotten more adept at through the years is again taking negatives and synthesizing them into something hopefully positive. I think Elevate is maybe a really good example of that.
Totally.
Maybe if you want to give background on the song.
Yeah, man. I feel like, you know, those bright spots in life that shine through are important, and we want to show that in our music as well, because there's so much, I guess, pain and struggle that I've put into a lot of the songs, and which makes for great music. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, some of the best music just come from that struggle, and
from misery comes great art.
Exactly. You know, it's the truth, man. But I think that also having that like fighter spirit of like, I'm gonna keep on keeping on, like I'm gonna keep getting back up no matter what. And I feel that message is important to people, because I know a lot of people out there, you know, feel like they just keep getting knocked down, and they feel like everybody's against them, and they're alone, and they're broken, and they just can't. And I'm like, nah, you can. You just gotta keep fucking getting back up no matter what. And I gotta tell myself that sometimes. You know, it's like, just keep getting up, dude, because maybe the next time you get up, you're gonna be all right, you know. And so it's definitely a challenge, but, you know, like I said earlier, it's like it's important to know that like pain is necessary in this life. Like, don't just know that. So when it comes, just know that that's part of this journey.
You quoted very briefly maybe my favorite Bob Dylan lyric of all time. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on.
Oh,
like
there we go.
Flew tangled up in blue.
I didn't even know I quoted Bob Dylan.
See
dude.
that?
Bang.
That's how good Bob is.
That's right.
People are quoting, they don't even know it now.
Dude, that's what's up, because he just became part of the American vernacular that just became.
That's the
he's
truth.
a wordsmith, man.
That's the truth. Now, let's talk about stuff that makes you happy, because this has been kind of sad so far. What are things in life, maybe besides the band, that just make you want to get up in the morning?
Oh, man. This is going to sound really sappy, but two of my favorite things, rolling over in bed and just grabbing onto my lady and just hanging on to that woman for at least like 30, 45 seconds. Like that, it's just because I wake up alone a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's like
in a bus.
Exactly. And so like just having that beautiful woman next to me, and just that shit just, oh my God, I love it. And then coming downstairs, and I see my little rascal Bricks, and he's like, "What's up, Dad?" And I'm like, "What's up, kid?" You know, I love that. I love beaches. I love the sun. I love Mexican food. I love my family. I love my friends. I love being creative, not only making music, but outside of music. You know, I like being creative in the regards of like in my backyard, like planting plants and stuff like that, like goofy kind of like dad life things like that. Yeah. Like it's to me, I'm like, I can't have an idle mind or an idle body. I always have to be tinkering or doing, because when I stop, it's like the committee just starts to get a little too loud, you know? Exactly, dude. It's like
the wheels start turning.
Yeah, I shut that committee up a little bit, you know?
Thus concludes the TED Talk from Jacoby Shaddix.
And then, this makes me happy too. Sleeping.
Oh, there you go.
Sleeping in my Lou Brutus t-shirt. No joke. I was wearing this morning. Yeah, true story. True story.
I owe him $20 now.
You don't owe me shit. You don't owe me shit.
You're going to be super busy. You got to break down all the touring that's coming up, including another run with Shinedown and Asking Alexandria, because those shows were crazy. And I know I last saw you at the end of some of those, and everybody was already like off in the distance talking, we got to maybe a little bit more. Yeah.
So right after this, we're going to go home for like a week, and then we're headed off to Russia. We're going to do some dates in Russia and Europe. We're doing festivals in Europe, which is going to be smashing. Then we're going to come home in July, have a little break, celebrate my 22nd year anniversary with my wife, which is awesome. I'm excited about that. Can't believe we did it. We're doing it. And then after that, we're going to go out on a headlining tour with, we're taking out Asking Alexandria and Bad Wolves on that run.
Yep.
And then after that, we are going to go out with Shinedown, Papa Roach, Asking Alexandria, and a band called Savage After Midnight. And then after that, I think I might take a long nap.
There you go.
and then go on tour again.
And you're going to talk about this a lot, I know. But does it seem like 20 years since Infest?
You know, it does and it doesn't, you know, because when I start to like catalog all like the experiences and places, and it feels like a long time, but then like when I just kind of run it past myself, I'm like, oh man, it was just like a blink of an eye. I was there and now I'm here. On the way to the airport 2 days ago with my son Jagger in the car, I was like, hey Jag, pull up your calendar. I was like, you do me a favor, go up to 2020 and look at April. Look at April 25th, the year 2020, and tell me like what day that lands on, because we released it on the 25th of April, and it lands on a Saturday night.
Oh,
and so I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a throwdown on that one. We're gonna do like I think like a one night big, you know, play the record in its entirety, throw down. I'd like to do it in Northern California
I was gonna
somewhere.
Say you got to do it in the home ground.
You know what I'm saying? And I've got a few ideas, but I kind of feel like I want to do this without any promoters or anybody and do it full on DIY style like we used to do it back in the day.
You just beat me to
like,
it. Yeah,
it just seems like the right thing to do. So
can I make the flyers for it?
Yes.
I swear to God, like I'll print flyers.
Yes,
that's what the flyers.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, yo, Jerry, like you want to roll out and go flyering with me, like that kind of thing. That's
can you get your mom's station wagon?
Seriously, I'm no joke about it, dude. Duct tape on the back of the stop sign.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
I'm coming to that.
Yes,
I'm coming to that,
and
I will see you for some of the other runs there. You're a good human being.
I keep trying, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends of the Papa Roach Army, Jacoby Shaddix.